Hello and welcome to another live edition of VTV News. You're with me, Ling Hương, and here come our headlines. Korea-Vietnam Free Trade Agreement's list of items eligible for special preferential tariffs has been issued. Vietnam remains in the world's top 5 textile exporters, with export revenues expected to reach $28 billion this year. We'll visit a secondary school in the southern province of Bến Tre, who has come up with a green library mode, which offers pupils a green space for studying. Now, the South Korea-Vietnam Free Trade Agreement officially came into effect on December 20th, and according to the deal, tariffs will be gradually cut to 0%. The Ministry of Finance had just issued a list of items eligible for special preferential tariffs in accordance with this free trade agreement. Specifically, South Korea is committed to removing tariffs and lifting quotas for 11,679 lines of taxes for Vietnamese products such as seafood, including shrimp, crab, frozen fish, agro-produce, fresh flowers, tropical fruit, and industrial products such as textiles and mechanical products. For such products as garlic, ginger, honey, red beans, sweet potatoes, which are subject to high most favored nations duties from 240% to 420%, Korea has pledged to open the market. This is considered a significant advantage for Vietnam compared to its regional exporters. Meanwhile, Vietnam has pledged to add 201 items into its tax exemption list. These items include textiles and footwear inputs, household electric appliances, electric devices, components, and vehicle parts. And in the following report, we'll take a look at the ample opportunities that the free trade agreement between Vietnam and Korea can offer to businesses from the two countries to make the most out of it.
This company currently earns around $1 million a year thanks to its 5,000 hectares and average 700 tons of frozen vegetable exports to South Korea. Thanks to South Korea-Vietnam Free Trade Agreement, the tariff on sweet corn and soybeans have fallen by 20%.
We will be able to increase our prices as we have volume thanks to our customers. These are good conditions for cooperation between the two countries.
This South Korean business specializes in supplying bedding for both Vietnam and Korea. They import and export fabric from Korea. Hence, they have seen double the benefits from the FTA.
We like to maintain the quality, so we import from Korea, while other companies import fabrics from China. The fabric from Korea actually is high quality but high price.
According to representatives of the Ministry of Finance, the FTA has opened a golden opportunity for Vietnam enterprises.
There are several products that Korea has never opened to any other countries. However, this FTA sees Korea opening opportunities for some Vietnamese products. Since the FTA has taken effect, many major corporations have taken this opportunity to export their products to Vietnam and make the best use of the FTA.
The South Korea-Vietnam Free Trade Agreement is predicted to raise two-way trade turnover to $70 billion by 2020, and trade and investment opportunities between the two countries are significantly expanding.
In other news, a conference to promote Japanese investment in Yên Bái province was held on Monday in Hanoi. There are currently 21 FDI projects in Yên Bái province. Total registered investment reached more than $198 million, leading to revenue of $30 million. Investment procedures have been simplified, and the registration of new businesses now takes a maximum of a week. Yên Bái lies at the center of the Kunming-Lào-Cai-Hanoi-Hải Phòng economic zone and is considered an important hub for facilitating business activities in the ASEAN region. Now, Vietnam remains in the world's top 5 textile exporters, according to Vietnam National Textile and Garment Group. Textile export revenues this year are expected to reach $28 billion. Prospects for 2016 remain bright, with export turnover expected to reach $30 billion, an increase of 8% compared to 2015. Pre-tax profit could increase by 10% compared to 2015. Also in economic news, Vietnam may sue the U.S. Department of Agriculture Food Safety Inspection Service over its new regulations which require non-U.S. producers to meet the same standards as fish farmers use in the United States. The standards will make it extremely difficult for Vietnamese crawfish farmers to export products to the United States. The U.S. Department of Agriculture Food Safety Inspection Service launched an inspection of fish-producing countries, including basa and crawfish in Vietnam, despite opposition from several U.S. senators and Southeast Asian countries, including Vietnam. Vietnam said the U.S. had violated key provisions of its WTO commitments. All of ASEAN's member countries have sent letters to the U.S. government to officially protest against the implementation of the intrusive inspections. Now, since Government Decree 55 came into effect in July, all individuals and organizations working in the agriculture field have been able to receive more bank loans without collateral. This has given farmers more confidence to invest in agriculture production and trade. Let's find out more in the following.
In a decade of fish rearing in Đồng Tháp province, Hùng has never seen the price of his fish reach such a high. Thanks to the good returns, Hùng has decided to buy an extra 10,000 fry and rented an additional 2 hectares of land to expand production. His business depended completely on bank loans, despite having no collateral.
When I first heard about this credit package, I felt very happy. It will be good if I can borrow more because no collateral is needed.
Phong from Bến Tre City has run a fertilizer business for 5 years. According to Decree 41, he couldn't receive preferential credit because he lived in the city. But since Decree 55 replaced Decree 41, he has been able to receive bank loans from the program.
When we have a chance to borrow money from banks, we won't hesitate to do so we can expand our business.
Most of those taking loans out thanks to Decree 55 reside in the Mekong Delta region. Most of them are big seafood businesses and cooperatives. They can access a 130,000 USD loan without collateral. However, some still concerned that the industry still poses a high risk, while recovering bad debts could be difficult.
With plentiful land areas for agriculture and favorable natural conditions, the Central Highlands province of Đắk Nông has encouraged people to develop large farm models. So far, 1,000 farms in the province have adopted the new model to boost high-tech agriculture. More to follow.
This mangosteen farm, which meets Vietgap standards, belongs to Trần Quang Đông in Gia Nghĩa Town, Đắk Nông province. In 2004, Dong started growing mangosteen with 1 hectare of sample, and now his farm has grown to 8 hectares. Last harvest, Dong saw a turnover of $110,000 from his mangosteens.
Mangosteen in Đắk Nông ripen after the crops in the Mekong Delta ends. This means many traders come to us to buy fruits. Many even want to buy large amounts for export, but we don't have enough.
Previously, farms in Đắk Nông province mostly focused on coffee, pepper or rubber. But now, farm owners here have alternated fruit trees and industrial plants in their farms. They have also applied modern farming techniques to increase competitiveness.
Đắk Nông province has plenty of land and favorable weather conditions for agriculture.
Đắk Nông province has about 1,000 farms with a total area of 7,000 hectares. These farms have provided about 13,000 stable jobs, and each of them has an average income of nearly $49,000 per farm per year.
Only by establishing farm models can we apply high technology and promote industrialized agriculture.
In order to enhance efficiency and sustainability of farms in the province, Đắk Nông authorities are now encouraging farm owners to apply Vietgap and Global Gap standards. This is a proper direction to help Đắk Nong's agro-products seek a foothold in domestic and international markets.
Interbank exchange rates have been on an upward trend for the first half of this month. Liquidity seems low given the sharp increase in the overnight interbank interest rates. Now, due to the rising demand for short-term capital towards the year's end, overnight interbank interest rates have increased from 3.2% per annum 2 weeks ago to 4.6% per annum. Several commercial banks have started increasing their interest rates on short-term deposits by 0.2 to 0.5% per annum. Interest rates on Vietnamese dong deposits now stand at 0.8 to 1% per annum for no-term deposits, 4.5 to 5.4% per annum for deposits of less than 6-month terms, and 5.4 to 6.5% per annum for 6 to 12-month terms. VTV News will now continue with the updates on the foreign exchange rates. Coming up next on VTV News, we'll visit a secondary school in the southern province of Bến Tre, who has come up with a green library mode which offers students a green space for studying. Border guards maintain peace and stability in mountainous areas. And welcome back to VTV News, brought to you live from Hanoi. Vietnam is the 7th most affected country in terms of climate change, based on information from between 1995 and 2014, according to the recent Global Climate Risk Index for 2016 report issued by NGO German Watch. Climate change disasters have been directly attributed to the annual death of over 390 lives and cost of 1% of Vietnam's GDP. Prolonged drought and 60-year record high temperatures have stretched from the north to southern central provinces. As a result, 190,000 hectares of crop went without water and over 44,000 livestock and poultry died. Low water levels in rivers are becoming more severe, particularly in the Mekong River, which has experienced the lowest water levels for a century. El Niño, which describes the phenomenon when surface temperatures in the Pacific Ocean along the equator becomes warmer, has hit a record 60-year high, severely affecting many countries, including Vietnam. The central province of Quang Binh is one of the locals which has suffered the impact of this extreme weather event. More to follow.
Rainfall in Vietnam's northern and central provinces have been much lower than the previous year, according to the National Center for Hydrometeorological Forecasting. In the central province of Quang Binh, rainfall this year reached only 50 to 60% of last year. Hot weather and prolonged droughts have threatened agricultural production. It is forecasted that local farmers will have enough water for production in the 2015-2016 winter-spring crop. However, it might not be the same for the summer-autumn period.
This year we have to provide water for 29,000 hectares of land. There was enough water for the winter-spring crop. However, in the summer-autumn crop, 3,000 hectares of farming land will suffer from water shortages if the rainfall doesn't increase. I'm very worried as the local authorities has announced that there won't be enough water for my plants for the summer-autumn crop.
The rainy season is coming to an end, but in Quang Binh, there have been few heavy rains to add to the province's water supplies. The agricultural sector is set to face many difficulties in the coming time, especially as the lack of water for summer-autumn crop next year seems unavoidable.
Natural disasters fueled by climate change are occurring more frequently in various places in Vietnam, wreaking havoc on the country's agriculture sector. A training course to improve disaster prevention capacity among the country's northern provinces was recently held in Lào Cai province. Attendees were introduced to new natural disaster prevention efforts by the Central Steering Committee and Red Cross Vietnam. Representatives from local Red Cross shared experience in preventing natural disasters in 14 northern provinces. They also discussed measures to improve the capacity of local task force and called on the public to participate in disaster prevention efforts. Given the challenges posed by environmental pollution and climate change, young people are being encouraged to raise awareness about the need for environmental protection. In the southern province of Bến Tre, a secondary school has come up with a green library model. It offers students a green space for studying.
Vĩnh Thành Secondary School in Chợ Lách District, Bến Tre Province, has large yard with many trees. These trees are part of a green library, an idea developed by the school principal.
The district has been developing a greenhouse, so it inspired me to construct a green library for students. They can read books, study, or even have some chats with their friends there.
The 120 square meter building, 2 rooms built from small banyan trees. The tree is leafy and easy to be shaped. Using banyans to make greenhouses is initiative proposed by bonsai artists in the district. So the Green Library has received supports from those artists who are also parents of the students.
The library is very helpful, so the Parents Association was happy to support the school. The school should water and fertilize the trees frequently to make sure they grow well.
During the past 4 years, the library has become a favorite place for over 1,300 students studying at the school, and the library has been a classroom for biology, arts, and revision before exams.
I feel very proud because only my school has a green library like this in the district.
The school staff and the Parents Association have built a miniature landscape, a man-made spring, and planted more trees to create a greener environment for their pupils.
The National Foreign Languages Project 2020, introduced in 2008, has brought positive changes in the teaching and learning of foreign languages at all educational levels in Vietnam. Training foreign language teachers and providing equipment for schools has to be completed at the end of this year, but many localities still face a lot of difficulties with turning the policy into a reality, especially in remote areas.
Grade 3 pupils at Đất Mũi 1 Primary School first started studying English last year. There are 9 English classes in the school, but there is only 1 teacher. However, for the past week, this only teacher has been attending a course to meet Standard B1, one of the 6 levels in the National Foreign Languages Project. A lack of teachers is not the only problem. We don't have adequate facilities for the teaching and learning of foreign language. For example, I have to read aloud in the listening part as we don't have CDs or CD players. Đất Mũi Secondary School also faces difficulties. Only 1 out of the 3 teachers in this school has a B2 certificate. Teacher Đinh Hùng Cường has changed his way of planning his lessons by using a computer. However, as the facilities in the school are limited, he finds it hard to make lessons more lively and attractive.
I know what to do after attending the courses in terms of developing interesting classes. However, the methods aren't effective here due to a lack of facilities.
The teaching and learning of foreign languages in many places still focuses mainly on reading and writing, not the actual everyday use of the language. According to many teachers, students lack a practical learning environment.
We don't have an English language learning environment. The students are still very passive, so we usually have to encourage them to practice the lessons with each other.
An international seminar on the effectiveness of the National Foreign Languages 2020 project and the technology transfers in foreign language education mentioned these difficulties. However, the lack of qualified foreign language teachers is still a major issue in many localities.
More than 200 Vietnamese patients in Phu Tho district have received free healthcare services and free meals from Korean doctors. The patients were from families who had made a contribution to Vietnam's liberation struggle or lived in poverty. This is a part of the Korean Ministry of Health and Welfare project in Vietnam, which supports the development of healthcare in other Asian countries. The ministry also organized a Korea-Vietnam Health Conference, which aims to develop cooperation between Korean and Vietnamese health organizations and hospitals. Meanwhile, Ho Chi Minh City has been adopting the public-private partnership or PPP model to alleviate overcrowding in its hospitals. Let's find out more in the following.
A high-tech healthcare zone consisting of 10 clinical specialist departments has recently been opened at Xuyen Á General Hospital. Xuyen Á Hospital has just signed a technical cooperation contract with Chợ Giẫy General Hospital. The two hospitals will take advantage of each other's strengths through the PPP model.
Technically, Chợ Giẫy Hospital will assist Xuyen Á Hospital with serious, difficult cases. They will also provide us with some training. If Chợ Giẫy Hospital gets overcrowded, some patients from the northwest part of the city can be sent to our hospital if we are capable of curing their diseases. The contract will serve two purposes. The first one is to improve the service quality by utilizing modern patient treatments. Secondly, we'll provide training for hospitals in nearby provinces and assist them with medical equipment and human resources so that the quality of those hospitals can be improved.
Thanks to the PPP model, private hospitals receive better quality doctors, while public health services will see investment in facilities. This should help Ho Chi Minh City resolve issues affecting its health sector and offer the possibility that patients may be able to access better services at reasonable costs.
The first and foremost responsibility of the healthcare sector is to take care of patients regardless of profits. This is a crucial point that both public and private hospitals need to remind themselves of.
The PPP model helps connect public and private hospitals. By utilizing each other's strengths, weaknesses can be minimized and strengths can be built upon. Overcrowding should be alleviated, which in turn should contribute to the development of Ho Chi Minh City's healthcare sector.
December 22nd marked the 71st anniversary of the foundation of the Vietnam People's Army. The following story will tell us more about the contribution of Vietnamese border guards in rural areas.
The national anthem is played every morning. It takes time for the local people to learn and understand the meaning because many of them don't speak Vietnamese.
The local people provided us valuable information so we can run programs to fight against criminals and maintain peace and stability. The local people share with us their stories and together we help each other.
The local border guards travel to all 47 villages in the 14 communes in the mountainous areas of Sơn La, Lào Cai, and Yên Bái to help the local people. They have many experiences and stories to tell after such trips.
We follow the rules and culture of the local people. We have to understand their culture and be approachable for them whenever they need us. For us, here is like our second home. The local people here are like our relatives.
Don has been doing his job for 26 years. Once a year he has a short break to visit his family. However, even this can be difficult sometimes as work can be too busy.
I would like to tell my children and my wife that I'm doing my job and always think about them. Please believe in me and my mission. I miss you.
Border guards play a vital role in securing peace and maintaining stability in border areas.
And now time for a check on the weather updates. And that's all we have for this edition of VTV News. Thank you very much for being with us. Feel free to log on to vtv4.vn or youtube.com/vtv4go for other updates. And goodbye for now.